That's right.
You know he's moving because the bear in the back remains still as he moves past. This bear is the frame of reference. Sliding friction is between two solid objects. An example of sliding friction is when a bottle cap is slid across a table. As the bottle cap moves, the table works against it to gradually bring it to a stop. An example of rolling friction is when a boy pushes a ball across a carpet and the ball rolls until coming to a stop. Force times mass equals acceleration. As you can see, the boy pushes off the ground, applying force, accelerating himself forward. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. When the boy walks, he pushes his foot off the floor, and the floor, being the equal and opposite reaction, pushes back on his foot, pushing him forward. Speed is calculated by dividing the distance traveled by the time that it takes to travel that distance. This will be shown here. It took the boy 4 seconds to travel 20 feet. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. The boy traveled 5 feet per second. Newton's law of universal gravitation states that everything in the universe has its own gravity. Earth's gravity is calculated as 9.8 newtons. When I drop this, the Earth pulls it with its gravity of 9.8 newtons down to Earth. The phone being at 0.65 meters and weighing in at a mass of 0.4 kilograms has the potential energy of 2.55 joules. These are the three forces, being lift, thrust, and drag. Thrust being the first one is when I propel the ball forward towards Kyle. I take the ball, pushing it, thrusting it forward. Then lift being the second is when the ball is in midair, the air beneath it, lifting it upward, which is just slight. Here's an example of that. As a football is thrown through the air, the drag opposes it. It's the wind. So if I throw this and it's propelling through the air, the wind will come over to the front of it and oppose it and then tail off. It's that an object at rest will remain at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside unbalanced force. Me being the outside unbalanced force, I will push the boy on the skateboard, thrusting him forward. Acceleration is any change in velocity. It could be speeding up, slowing down, or changing direction. As you can see, when the boy runs, he comes down the hill. Once coming down the hill, he speeds up, then towards the end, he slows down. On the hill and at the end, there's examples of acceleration because the boy speeds up and slows down. Acceleration can only occur if acted upon by an outside unbalanced force.
Momentum equals mass times velocity. The basketball, having the greater mass, while being thrown with a greater velocity, will transfer the momentum through the basketball into the tennis ball, which then will create a collision that the basketball will overcome the tennis ball.
what's going down. They call me